What's up, YouTube? It's your boy SB here. Welcome to another episode, SB Toys. First things first, if you're watching on a desktop computer or a laptop or any other device that may allow this option, you should see a icon of the SB Toys logo on your right hand corner. You can go ahead and click on that and you'll be able to subscribe to the channel. If not, I'll have a subscribe button at the end of the video. You can click on that. And when this video's finished, you can check out other videos on the channel, like, share, comment on them, and all of that jazz. So anyway, this is a very, very interesting video today. We got here the Power Rangers. We have new Power Rangers figures for y'all that wasn't aware about it. And I was able to get my hands on some. So we're going to go ahead and do a review of them for all those Power Ranger fans out there. If you don't know already, I've been collecting a few Ranger merchandise. I have the Megazord videos. And like I said, you can check out those videos at the end of this video and see about those as well. So what you're looking at here, we have this new figure line from Bandai. This is the Red Ranger from the Power Rangers Legacy Collection. Now, the other thing about this figure here, something I'm assuming, I see a lot of the more 6-inch figure lines. They're doing this thing now, pretty much going the Marvel Legends route with the Build-A-Figures. They have this Build-A-Megazord, and as you see on the package, the back, when you collect all the Rangers, the red, yellow, pink, black, blue, I feel like I'm leaving out one, but anyway, they each come with a piece to the Megazord, the original Dinozord. And once you get all the pieces, you can build a Megazord. Get it? So that looks like some new Bandai is testing out. As you can see, I got it spinning around the package. We have Jason here in the box. And as you can see, it's a pretty nice enclosed package. On the back, you have the Build a Megazord again. The parts you get with the figures. Then you see the wave right here, Series 1, which comes with the Green Ranger, Legacy Red. Then they have, I believe those are the Ninja Storm Rangers, which I have some gripes about that. I'm not sure why they just didn't do all the Mighty Morphin Rangers in this series instead of just 2. But I think I have some suspicions to that as far as Bandai trying to make sure their other waves are as strong too. So they could be trying to piece them out. So we'll see about that. But anyway, I'm sure some of you familiar. This is a Bandai product. And some of you who already collect Power Ranger figures, I'm sure you're familiar with their Figure Arts line. And they have the Figure Arts Rangers as well. Now, I do know these are a little bigger in size compared to those. And they are a lot cheaper. So for those of you who have been interested in maybe getting those Figure Art brand Rangers, but you've seen the price, I think those can go from anywhere to 60 to 80 bucks, depending on which Ranger you get. So these have just dropped, and they could be a good alternative to those of you who've been wanting to get some more full-size Power Ranger figures. And off bat, initial impression, these is pretty, to date, some of the best Power Ranger figures out there. So we're going to go ahead, take them out the box, get a little look at them, see how we really feel about them. Alright, so as you can see, we have pulled them out the box here. And upon initial reaction, the joints are pretty smooth. Nothing feels too tight. Nothing feels too loose. They're right there at a medium. So that can be a good thing. Now, he does come with a few accessories. As I noted earlier, they're doing a new thing called a Build the Zord. So he comes with the main head and torso part here to the Dino Megazord. And when you get the other Ranger figures as well, they will come with each additional piece, and you can assemble it together and you will have the complete Megazord. Now I'm looking at them in relative scale to the actual Red Ranger. And so it looks like once you complete the Zord, it's going to be about the same size and scale. So that could be a bit of a disappointment, especially since this is supposed to be the Megazord. It should be a little bigger than the actual Rangers that they come with when you build them. But eventually I do plan on getting the rest of them, so When I do that, we'll save a day for that to go over the completed Megazord from this new wave of Power Rangers that Bandai is putting out. Now, as I mentioned, joints are pretty smooth and it's pretty decent size here too. Nice material. The plastic doesn't feel real cheap. Feels nice grade plastic here. Joints and everything. So let's go ahead and get into some details here. This is a pretty tall figure. And let me turn that up. Very tall. These Power Rangers are, well, this one right here, the Red Ranger, it's just a little over 6.5 inches. So let me make sure you see that again. Yep, 6.5 inches. So this is a pretty tall figure here. And we're talking about very close to the Marvel Legends scale line. And slightly bigger. So if you have any of those figures and you display them together, there's a little slight difference in height. As I mentioned, the figure arts ones, which I don't have one of on hand, but I've seen some comparison photos, these figures are way bigger. So just keep that in mind as well if you have figure arts figures and you're planning on trying to get some of these Legacy Collection figures to kind of blend in with those for the Rangers you don't have. They will not match up in size. And they're a little different in sculpt as well, too. And we'll get into some more of that. I also forgot to mention here, though, on his side, he comes with his little Ranger blaster. And he has a little pouch for it, which out the box, it was just loose like that. And then you just connect it here in his little hole they have drilled out for him. Then you can put that in there. So anyway, one key thing that stands out about these legacy figure collection, legacy collection, that's what it's referred to. These figures here, they do have a lot of articulation, and we are about to go on them right about now, starting at the head. Let's start at the head here. As you can see, he has his turns. He can go left and right, do a full 360, exorcism style. Turn to the side. Let's see his head tilt. Has a nice range of tilt going forward and has a nice range, well, a decent range going back, not as much as going forward. Let's get to the arm here. Has a little range as far as going up sideways, not too much though. Standard shoulder swivel here. He does have a bicep turn, double jointed elbows. Looks like, oh, okay. We have a little swivel here at the forearm. Then we have wrist swivel as well. And that looks like that's on the little ball peg or whatever you want to refer to it as, ball swivel joint at the wrist. Let's get to the abs here. Down the midsection does have ab crunch, something new I've seen on a Power Ranger figure. And he's got a nice range going forward, going back. He's got a nice little range as well. Now, one thing to key point out, as you can see here, the pattern on his outfit, when you do his ab crunch and you go back with it, you see you got a little double overlay of pattern. So keep that in mind when you're posing him. The pattern little overlay, I'm not sure what I would refer to that as, but he's got a little double layering there at the pattern right there at his chest when you bend him back too far. Then pose on forward, it cuts off a little bit. So it's a little thing to point out. But let's go ahead, continue with the articulation. He does have some hip swivel here. And looks like I can't really turn him all the way. I don't want to put too much force on it and break it, but he does have a lot. It's real fluid until I get to these points. So I don't think he has a full hip swivel. So you can't turn him completely all the way around. For the moment, that's what it looks like on my figure. Let's get down to his legs. Ball joint here at the legs. Extends out sideways. Nice little range. Turn him sideways, forward motion kick. It's got a nice little range of motion. Going forward, going back. Not as much. Looks like he has a little shin swivel here too, even though it's kind of tricky. Blasting came off. Keep that, make note of that. But you're supposed to have a little shin swivel here, and it's a little tricky to mess with posing. But let's get down to the knee here. He does have the double jointed knee. Also, he has swivel here at the shin, down here at the ankle swivel, going down and tilting back up. Also has ankle pivot. So those are some things to keep in mind. Now, even though this is a very affordable figure and an alternative to consider to the figure arts brand Power Rangers out there, there's a few things I must point out. Number one, the thigh swivel here is a little tricky to operate. You have to be real tedious as far as trying to make sure you don't have the full leg twist when trying to adjust the thigh swivel. So that can be a little issue when trying to pose him. Also, if you notice, in the sculpting here, they have some weird things which kind of distract me a little bit. Here at the shoulders, he has this extra accenting bulge that comes out from the sculpt. I'm not sure if they was trying to go for a combination of the regular TV show and movie Ranger as far as doing some of the sculpting to this, but he has a little distracting part of his shoulder here that sticks out. I'm not sure why they did that. It really serves no purpose here. Same down here at the legs here, where his thigh swivels at. Has a very exaggerated extension of the sculpt here, sticks out. Doesn't really mold in well at the joints. So that can be distracting as well. Also, if you look at his wrist here, not sure how well you can see that. The wrist swivel, his hand, which pops off. Oh no. Jason, your hand is gone. As you can see, this is what makes these videos so great. We're both learning right now, right in front, live and direct, learning new things about this figure. But anyway, as I was pointing out here at his wrist, instead of it being more embedded into the arm, his hand just sticks out here, this little ball swivel, and just sticks out from the forearm. And it just hangs out there a little loosely. So cosmetically, it doesn't look as great. And also, another thing, when turning his wrist, as you can see, be careful with posing it and how you angle it up. You can pop his hand off, but it snaps just back in place just as easy. So those are a few things. Also, the legs can be a little awkward. He kind of got this bow-legged thing going on, which could just be my figuring itself. Maybe the joints just need to be loosened up a little bit, or they'll shape up once I leave them out a little longer, if that is possible. I'm not sure. Keep figures being packaged for a while. The joints, little rubber joints, tend to build up a certain way, and once you loose and let them sit out, they start to shape up right. In theory, I don't know how true that is, but that's just a speculation. So maybe these will improve over time. But I do like a little detail here. Paint detail in this belt is pretty nice. So overall, this figure is, while it has some negatives, it does have some positives as well. Well, that tops off the hands-on review here. So let's give initial thoughts. Would I recommend this figure? If you have the Figure Arts Power Rangers already, then no. those figures look way better as far as cosmetic wise. And they have a nice range of articulation as well. Now, if you don't have any of the Figure Arts Rangers and you're looking for a more advanced build Power Ranger, more articulation points, then yes, this is definitely a nice figure to have for your collection. It's not, like I said, it's not as well appealing cosmetically. It does have some weird sculpting areas, especially at the shoulders and as you can see at the thigh there, which can be a little distracting. Maybe not too much, depending on how picky you are about your sculpting on your figures and stuff. But these are things I want to point out in the review. So I feel it's important to address those things. So if you are in the market looking for some Ranger figures, you want something a little more advanced, some nice articulation and stuff, and a lot more affordable compared to the Figure Arts Rangers, this Red Ranger here is definitely a nice pickup. I'd say, yeah, go ahead and get you one. Even though there's some flaws, there's still some good things for it, especially if you're displaying it. With that being said, make sure you hit the subscribe button right here. You can subscribe to the channel, stay up to date. Like I said, I have other videos up you can check out, especially since we're doing a Power Rangers video. Make sure you check out the ones on the original Megazords. But anyway, like I said, y'all get at me in the comments. Make sure you like, share this video if you got somebody that's been looking into getting some Power Rangers figures. Saw the Figure Arts ones. Maybe it was like, that's way out my price range. They got these new Power Rangers for $20. I wonder how they are. Show them this video. Let them see it out the box. Things like that. See what they think about it. Hopefully this review helps you out. There are probably a few other ones out there, so you may check those out as well. But thanks for stopping by the channel. Y'all enjoy the video. Y'all be easy. Get out there, get you a Ranger, and I'm out.